Now, if you love telenovelas, you love movies, romantic ones for that matter, you'd have seen a lot of characters do too many crazy things for love. Sometimes you're asking, can this really happen? Well, in some situations, it does. Some people are really ready to die for love, maybe because they watch too much Titanic, I don't know. But people actually can endure. They're not enjoying, but they are enduring relationships. Today on the G-Spot, we're going to talk about how much can you endure, how much can you contain, how much are you willing to give for the sake of love. Like the things we do for love, we are going to have a good discussion here on the G-Spot. My name is Mzgee. This is Joy Prime. If you just tuned in, you're going to have a great 1 hour on TV. Now, my makeup is by Ellis Makeover. Thanks to Ellis for my makeup. Also, my fabric is from Aduma Fabrics. Her number is on the screen. It was put together by Ajoayeboa Clothing. The show is sponsored by Ganjo Cosmetics, producers of UB Hair Relaxer. If you want your hair to look as great as Jackie Apia, who is the ambassador for UB, you definitely need UB Hair Relaxer. Now, let me introduce to you my guest here. I have, in no particular order, actress Belinda Jatta. She says Belinda Jatta, but I know for sure it's Jatta, and she is an extraordinary actress. I've known Belinda since 2003 or so. She doesn't even remember, but we used to go for auditions together back in the day. But I've known her all the way from 2003. And also, a beauty queen is in our midst, and just Ghana Most Beautiful 2011 contestant Abna. I think you're part of the runner-ups. Yes, she's the third. Yeah, so she is part of the discussion. We're starting with the ladies. Later on, the men will join us, and we'll have a beautiful battle of the sexes. How much can you endure for love? We'll be reading your comments also on our social media handles. It's Joy Prime on Instagram. You look for us, check out the video and comment. You're welcome, ladies, to the G-Spot.
Thank you.
All right, so like I said, people who watch a lot of movies, so we tend to think that there's a lot that we can endure when it comes to love. Some people say it's not endurance, and some people say, oh, it's just learning the other person. So I'm going to start with you, Belinda.
Okay.
How much, just how much can you take for the sake of love?
How much you want it in percentage form?
Well, it depends on how you want to describe.
Okay, so, I mean, like, what I can take for love, I can take certain stuff, like, somebody will go, like, if my guy cheats on me, they're going to leave the person. But I don't think that's a reason for you to quit, because we girls sometimes we cheat. You think chatting with guys or flirting with them is not cheating? It is. But we think we can eat our cake and have it back, which is not good.
So for you...
So if you cheat and you don't rub it in my face, I mean, I'm not going to leave you for that. But the minute you disrespect me, you don't respect me, like you don't appreciate me, you are so ungrateful, I'm going to walk away.
So cheating is not ungratefulness to you?
No, I mean, Charlie, it happens. I mean, you just have to accept it. It is everywhere. We try to lie to ourselves. Whether if you like, chase him, whatever, if he's going to do it, he's going to do it. So if your man cheats on you, you the lady, you need to search yourself. Work on yourself. Maybe there's a loophole somewhere. That's why he's cheating. So you need to work on yourself. If you try and it's not working, then I think you guys are not meant to be together. So you just have to walk away. But if it's abusive, if it's disrespectful, if he rubs it in your face, I mean, you just have to walk away.
You have to walk away. I saw Abna already raising her hands. I'm sure she has something to say already before she even goes on to her own.
I think the love is about understanding, and the cheating is in standards. Assuming the person comes to you or cheats on you with your friend.
Oh yeah. That's not cool.
It doesn't matter. If you're cheating and you're cheating outside, I don't have a problem. But if you're cheating within, this, I mean, it's a nuclear family. Because you're my best friend, you're cheating on me with my best friend. Hey, Charlie, you're disrespecting me in the maximum point of degree, which is so unacceptable. And again, abusing your partner, I think...
But the abuse, here is in different grades. So it can be verbal.
I mean, they all abuse. Do you get it?
And I think these days we don't take our time when choosing partners, or we don't take our time when going.
Isn't
to
it that we do not take our time, or we have become very intolerant as people?
Yes, we don't. Yes, that's the word.
Because
that's the word.
I don't think that. Well, this is my personal opinion that. It's about the time. I think it's about how much you can tolerate.
Yes.
And we become intolerant because I think there's a lot of option on social media. There's a lot of telenovela we are seeing.
That's where the problem is coming from.
And sometimes I think we don't, we overlook certain things because sometimes the person will be giving you signals. You need to take a very good note of that. You just don't have to say, oh, this is nothing, this is nothing. If the person continue doing that, it will get to a point, then you can't bear it.
But Abna, do you know that we're all brought up in different ways, like from different backgrounds and stuff like that, and we come together to tolerate each other, to compromise, and be in relationship. But we women, we like everything to be on our side. We are selfish sometimes. You understand? Yes, we women, we are. No, today era, social media women, we are not willing to tolerate. Do you understand? Imagine being with somebody, you don't know who the guy is. You just have to tolerate the person. As time goes by, the person will change. But if you see that he's not changing, then you just have to walk away. But we ladies of today, we don't take our time. We just want everything to be okay, it's done, it's rosy and stuff like that.
No, look,
maybe there are things you also do he doesn't like, but because
look at this. Assuming you're doing something.
Do you understand my point?
No, just assuming the person is doing something to you, then you complained, I don't like this. Then you realize the person is still doing it. It gets to a point, then you turn around to be doing that same thing to that person. Then he wants to eat you up.
But
what about that?
We are just not. See,
just do unto others what you want others to do unto you.
You see,
do you get it?
Because I was going to ask you, Belinda.
You know the problem with us now. We know our rights too much. Our mothers they were not like that. We girls of today, I know my rights, everything, this. But it's not supposed to be like that. Whatever you do, a man is a man. And women are the ones who push the men to do what they do.
Belinda,
I am telling you
that you're being submissive to your man doesn't mean the person should take you for granted.
And I believe it all boils down to the person being your friend. People don't know the people they go in for. They don't know. They just jump into it.
But I say people change.
Well, people change, same as the women change. Women get to, I think it's about comfortability. People get too comfortable when they are in relationships. The beginning 3 months, you see them comporting and stuff. The minute they see that, character. Then they get too comfortable. It's about comfortability. So the women get too comfortable, the men get too comfortable. I mean, it's the same. I mean, nobody is better than each other.
That is women why I said from the beginning that.
So you just have to get your friend,
don't
understand
overlook
each other,
certain things. You need to address it when the thing pops up.
But you're so much in love. The person you think the person will change.
And sometimes don't just be blindfolded with the love. You just have to be real.
Because sometimes you tend to address it. The person doesn't change. You say, oh, give him time. Give him time. By the time you know, he changes. And sometimes they don't have to change 1 day, 2 days. Just because you've complained. And then after a while, they pick up the habits again.
So just imagine your man is cheating on you with your friend, then you get to find out. Then you're telling yourself,
sure your man. Somebody has done something.
No. This is far from that. No, it's just It's just an example. Oh no. Come on. It's just an example. Okay, it could be your area lady or something. Then you just get to find out. Oh no.
But for you, the greatest is cheating.
Yeah. Not necessarily.
That's not.
No. If the person is abusing you, like I said, I can't tolerate that. No way.
You won't tolerate abuse. But we'll come back to have the men have the discussion with us. I'm sure that the battle of sexes will be very, very heated because I can hear the men also mumbling things. They are saying things already. But we have the men join us now. How much can they also take for love? We'll be back on the G Sports. Stay tuned.
There's a lot of things that, we see when we get into the mind. There's so many things we probably will never see in the courtship.
It's sometimes easy to draw a certain line and say, okay, as for me, if you cheat on me, I'll leave you. Or if you cheat on me with my friend, I'll leave you. But if it's a stranger, I'll be okay. Look, you never know what will hurt you until it hurts you.
And And welcome back to the G Spot. We are coming to you from the premises of Orca Deco, located on the Spinks's Road. You're close to Flower Pot. And this season, Orca is giving away a lot of goodies you need to pass by for your home furniture, office furniture, dining set, sports for your children, decorations or decor of any kind. Pass through Orca Deco on the Spinks's Road and let them know that you heard that from the G Spot. They will be glad to serve you better. Now, if you just joined the conversation, I'm sure you missed the first part already. And that's us talking about how much you can endure for the sake of love. With the ladies, we had Belinda Jatta and also Abna of Ghana Most Beautiful 2011. Now the men are here. The men are here because we are talking about them. And okay, it takes two, so we are talking about us. So yes, the women are done. Let's hear the men. And I introduce to you our guest in no particular order. Now, to my extreme left is Fifi Falson, not Falson, Falson. I took notes long ago. And this gentleman is on a campaign for Christ. He works with Sunny FM on the Sunset Drive. But I know he's forgotten, and I decided to keep quiet till we're on set. In 2010, when did Verity get married?
Oh, no.
Oh, you see? In 2010, he was emceeing a wedding. I was supposed to come. I was supposed to introduce a chairperson or something. And then I was not on radio. I was not on TV or anything. When I was there, he said, "Oh, this is a BBC voice."
I said that.
That's what he said. In 2010 or so, I think when Verity was getting married at the ICGC Temple, Ozana Temple,
exactly.
ICGC, he was the MC. Okay, so now I've told you what you told me years ago.
Prophetic.
So I'm still waiting for the BBC voice.
You
I'm
get
not
it.
there yet. Now I'm on JoyNews, I'm on Joy Prime, and that's beautiful. I have my colleague in the house, one of our very, very special, senior colleagues, Kojo Yangson, doing fantastic stuff on television. He's on the AM show, he's on JoyNews, and you definitely want to hear a report from Kojo Yangson, because as for the blade here, he's massacred it. But you're welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
He's massacred the blade. As for that one there.
I've done this intro.
Yo, he cannot. Two of you cannot disappoint. Anyway, but I heard you murmuring when the ladies were on, talking about how much they can take, for the sake of love. And you feel married. Yeah. And so I want to start from you, because are you enjoying or you're enduring, or you're doing both?
I'm enjoying.
You know what they say all the time. You people don't tell us that there's a bit of endurance. Yeah. So when we are coming, our expectation is that they say is enjoyment,
Yeah.
and then when we get in there and we begin to feel the pain small, I bet Fifi said is enjoyment.
Right? Okay, I get you. Well, 9 years and counting. Obviously, in the enjoyment, there's endurance. The focus is to enjoy. So you go just like after the tunnel, there's light. The fact that things are hard doesn't mean that, okay, yeah. So that's my answer to that question. Okay. So what's your question then?
So the question is, how much are you willing to take for the sake of love?
I speak as a married man, or?
Oh, tell us. Because people who are watching you who know you're married, they know that they're expecting you to speak from that perspective.
Okay. Well, I think for a Christian who is married, I'll go the long haul, 100%. Because I said, till death do us part. And I know the scriptures. There's one beautiful scripture, I think it's in Romans 13, that says, we owe no one nothing but love. And when we get into the whole love thing in 1 Corinthians 13 down, love is kind, love is, does not envy, does not keep records of wrong, blah, blah, blah. All is inside.
All is inside, but you're human.
Exactly. But you see, the focus for getting married, one, is it's a commitment. Okay, God, you are the one who has endorsed this marriage. With that mentality, no matter what happens, I have to understand that things might not be cozy and rosy along the line. Yeah, we can fight. We agree to disagree. I mean, sometimes in the morning I'm fighting with my wife before I step out. But I know that I love her. And I know that no matter what happens, I don't want to divorce my wife. So whatever happens, I owe her love. It must end in love. Even in the pain and all of that, still love, baby.
Yeah. Ladies, you must be watching this.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kojo.
That's beautiful.
He's just summed it up nicely.
Yeah.
But how difficult is it for us, because he's talking about, you know, but he's 9 years in marriage, so at least I haven't gone there. And so I cannot say much. But I know for a fact that there's a bit that we would have to endure.
Yeah, you're right. And I think both of you are hitting the exact same point that is in my head. Yes, there is some endurance involved in the process of love. But is it right to say that you will endure anything for love? Is that the case? I mean, you're married 9 years, you love your wife, but if your wife comes along to you one day and says, look, I want this necklace from this shop and we can't afford it, steal it for me.
Wow.
Will you endure, you know, stealing and the consequences of it, going to jail and all that, just to make your wife happy? So I think in the end, it all comes down to this case-by-case situation. Everything is on a case-by-case basis. No two human beings are the same, so no two love relationships are the same. And you will find that there are certain things you are willing to endure, but everybody has a limit.
Yeah.
You know, and look, I was listening to the ladies. They seem to have a very clear idea of what they are willing to tolerate, what they are not willing to tolerate.
Yeah.
I was listening to them and thinking, and you know, if you are, it's sometimes easy to draw a certain line and say, okay, as for me, if you cheat on me, I'll leave you. Or if you cheat on me with my friend, I'll leave you. But if it's a stranger, I'll be okay. Look, you never know what will hurt you until it hurts you.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, so sometimes it's easy to set certain rules for yourself before you find yourself in the situation. I prefer to do things on a case-by-case basis. If I set myself a standard, and then the time comes, and the person does something to me, and I said, oh, wait dear, I'll forgive. And then I find that I can't. I end up being a hypocrite. So for me, I think love should be about deciding in your head that this person is worth it. Okay, I want to go on a journey with this person. Now, even in the Bible, it says that what? Love endureth all things.
Yeah, keeps no records of wrong.
Yes. So the idea should be that, look, there will be external pressures on us.
Yeah.
Now that we've decided to take this journey together, I will endure external pressure. Any external pressure I'm willing to endure for you. That's because I love you. But I have no idea what kind of pressure you can put on me. And so as for that one, I'll wait. When it happens.
But when you're courting the person, the tendency is that you get to know. For instance, if you are courting in the relationship with the person, and the person said, like the example you gave, buy me this, that. From that, you should have told, or you can't tell the person that I can't afford. And so, walk away.
But what if while you are dating or, you know, courting, the person says, oh, buy me wachi. You can afford wachi, so you buy wachi. Then you get married, and it goes from wachi to Rolls Royce.
What a transformation. Maybe there's some transformation in your life as well.
I honestly think that you must set the standards, right? By and large, we are two different people coming together. I mean, one man told me before I got married that if you go into a place and you go to visit your sweetheart, you're dating, and then all of a sudden you meet a crowd, and then here you go and check out, and oh, that's the lady. She was fighting with someone. Well, you probably go and find out. She'll tell you, you know, it wasn't my fault, blah, blah, blah. But then you know she has a fighting spirit, so you write it down. Obviously, if this, no matter what the situation was, if you could go to that extent to fight, you have a fighting spirit. Things you must really look out for in a relationship. It makes a lot of sense. Now, by and large, you notice that even when you, I mean, a lot of the characters, a lot of things that, you know, we see when we get into the marriage, there's so many things we probably will never see in the courtship. So once you get married, I like what you talked about with regard to endurance. It doesn't mean be stupid or foolish. No way. If you're in an abusive relationship, hello, I won't ask you to stay. You must find a way to, you know, get some help. And so there are limits. If I enter into a relationship and I figure out that, look, okay, we are married and blah, blah, things are not working. We are two, you know, adults. Why did we get married? Okay, well, we agree that till death do us part. Can we set some standards? Can we agree that this is a no-go area? Okay, when you do this, you hit me hard, and so don't do it. On that level, we will now, like I said, come to a compromise. In every relationship, there must be that position where you all drop it. you know, and pick it together. Otherwise, if you think that for me, I'm adamant and me, hey, it won't work. You can live together and say, okay, we are Christians, we don't believe in divorce, blah, blah, blah. You never enjoy the marriage.
Now, you know, I heard the ladies say something which really made me think. This idea of changing a man. You know, so you met him and he was like this, but you saw some potential. So you decided to, you know, be with him and then hope that he will change. I think in the end, we all discover one sad truth.
Which is?
Men pick women and hope that the woman will never change. Women pick men and hope that the man will change. And both of them end up disappointed.
On that note, we will invite the ladies. We are about to have a battle. It's a battle of the sexes here on the G Sport. Stay tuned.
I can never insult anybody. The minute I do that, it's done.
And I think they say charity begins at home. The way, I mean,
you were brought up.
Exactly. That determines how you're going to treat your man.
Yeah.
Some women can maintain their representative for months before one day they will. You wake up in the morning, you turn around and the lipstick is already on. Okay.
Now, this is the round that I love so much. It's the battle of the sexes. Everybody gets to free their mind. People speak the things that they believe in. Their opinions are well appreciated. And just like nurses, all of them do have opinions. So please don't begrudge them for their opinions. Let them speak their minds. It's the battle of the sexes here on the G Sport, coming to you from Orca Decor, where you can find great home furniture, office furniture, decor, sports, everything you need to keep your home beautiful. Come through Orca Decor. You'll locate them on the Spinks Road, close to Flower Pot, and come get some great discounts in this season. My name is Mzgee, and let me introduce to you my guests. They say ladies first, so let me be partial. Now, these ladies are beautifully made up by Snash, so I'll talk about their makeup later. But I have Belinda Jata, who is an actress, and she's been acting for a very long while now, and you must love her when you find her on the screen. She does amazing. And then also Ghana Most Beautiful 2011 contestant, runner-up I should say, Abna, is also in the house. Ladies, you look great. Your makeup looks beautiful. And so now we have to give shouts to Snash, who made them up, and they are located at Bubuashi Taxi Rank. You can call them on 0244 524151. My makeup was by Ellis Makeover. Her number is definitely on your screen, and you can also hit her up. Then the men in the house. They used to say, when I was young, my friends say beautiful men, but they are handsome men. And Fifi Folson, who works with Sunny FM, he's on the Sunset Drive, Champion for Christ, and also my colleague, senior colleague, Kojo Yangson, who is on the AM show on JoyNews on the Multi-TV channel. You're welcome once more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, there's something that the ladies talked about initially when they were on abusive relationship. You echoed it when you also came on. So I have been thinking, there are many forms of abuse I've heard about when it comes to relationship. I hear the ladies saying, we can't fight. So our own is verbal abuse. How much of that can you tolerate?
Well, I've had the unfortunate experience of being in an abusive relationship before.
Verbal?
With an abusive woman. No, in fact, it even got physical. Wow. So if you ask me, what am I willing to endure? There is nothing in the world that will make me hit a woman. There's nothing that you could possibly do, including hitting me, that will make me hit a woman. Some guys will listen to this and think, oh, where'd you be, Papa? But to be perfectly honest, what is the point? What's the idea of hitting a woman? What does that get you? I wouldn't hit my child. Why would I hit a woman? But
he has a handsome son. I wish I was younger. I would have kept him. Yeah, I needed to say that. If you think Kojo is handsome, you should see his son.
Thank you, thank you. He is quite a stunner, and he knows it. But you see, I think that in some cases, when you start enduring something that you really shouldn't have to be subjected to, then it's no longer love. You know, if someone is verbally abusing you and you are having to endure it, I mean,
isn't it to get you better? Sometimes they say the women do not know how to express it, but it's just to get you better. You don't agree?
To get me better, that's why you're verbally abusing me.
So when it hurts, you will pick up.
Really?
No.
Look,
Emotionally, you're killing the person. Physically, you're killing the person. So what's the point?
But let's be clear. You see, all of these things that we do, they are emotional offenses that we commit against each other. If you hit a woman, it's an emotional offense. So you're not hitting her for money. You know, it's emotional. If you verbally abuse someone, whether a man to a woman or a woman to a man, it's emotional. It's something that is caused by emotion. It's a crime of passion, if you like. Okay, so he's done something, he said something, it has frustrated you, it's upset you. So you respond by being verbally abusive to him or her. So in some ways, it doesn't make you a criminal or a bad person per se, but you must understand the effect of what you are doing on the person. You must understand that you are breaking their spirit, and you don't do that to someone you love.
Well, I've had cases. I want to play the devil's advocate, and I keep saying, and I'll reiterate that I've heard people say that when the other partner is abusive, especially when it hasn't got to do with physical abuse, but it's words, they pick up themselves and become the man that they need to be, because, like you're saying, it's emotional. So she's telling you something that she's enduring.
But not to cut through though. Why would you want to abuse me to tell me what you want me to do for you?
Because you're not picking up.
Really?
But I see your
They
child.
are not, you probably are not saying it well.
Yeah.
It's a relationship, we need to understand that. It's a two-way thing. Let's sit and talk. You know, yeah, honey, you know what? I don't like this thing when you do it. I mean, if there's no respect, there's a problem.
That's it.
If you don't respect me, you come to me and tell me, you're not going to get me to do it. Yeah, because then my egos are going to go like, hey, I'm the man. So, shush. You understand? But you respect me. Let's sit down. Hey, that's a good time. And know the right time to even engage me, right? Not that I'm coming from work and I'm tired, I have a lot on my head and you just meet me. No. Find the right time. Sit down, honey, you know what? I've noticed A, B, C, D. Could you know, when that is done, all of a sudden your heart, it just sinks in like that. You become a rational human being. You work to, but if it's that, you won't get me. Yeah. So now I feel that okay, you don't even respect me. So what the heck, you know? Yeah.
So clearly, Osofo will not endure everything.
I will not. I will speak to it, you know. But I said earlier that.
But he said something that was profound. That, and that was even with abuse. That if you can't just endure an abusive relationship. But I made my mind up that when we come out, ask him about because he mentioned that you might decide to divorce or get some help. Yeah. And you know that Christians are against divorce. So I knew that I was going to ask you that, that because you brought that up, you know. So, but let's continue on this tangent of abuse, where most often the women will not go physical, but Kojo said, okay, so some women will go physical, but a lot of us is our mouth. You know, that kind of
I don't think it's right. I mean, you need to respect.
But I'm sure you've done that before.
No.
You haven't?
No. Anybody I disrespect or talk to anyhow, that's it. I won't continue again. I can never disrespect my man. I've never done it before. So, yeah, I know that people are going for, and I mean, I'm fortunate. I always go like, I have to date somebody who is my friend. Like, I like to make friendship first before I go into whatever I go into. So maybe if it doesn't work along the line, the people still remain in my life. They help me one way or the other. We are friends. We keep that. I don't disrespect men. I can never insult anybody. The minute I do that, it's done.
And I think they say a charity begins at home. The way, I mean,
you're brought up.
Exactly. That determines how you're going to treat your man.
Yeah.
Because if you cannot insult your elderly brother, then how much more somebody you call
like I can't even insult my friend,
exactly.
Like a female friend.
So you
talk
can't
less of a man. Like there's this guy that called me one time. I was sitting with my mom, and he was saying something like, he's not even my boyfriend. Like he was trying to disrespect me, and I was talking back. Do you know my mom just slapped me? And I'm like, you don't know who this person is. Why? You don't respect. She started insulting me. Do you know, the person came to the house and like, oh, mommy, it's not what you think. Oh, we just have arguments. He said, no, I don't want somebody to go like my daughter doesn't. I don't insult people. I don't disrespect.
And how I was brought up, it's not my mom who will come to you to, shape you or do things in order. It's my brother, the one I'm after. He is going to tell me, do this. So before my mom will come in, then it means you've done the worst thing. Do you get it? So if you go into a relationship, you have that thing at the back of your mind. No, regardless, I don't have to talk against a man.
Okay, so but for women too, they say that when the man hits them, also once it's okay.
Yeah,
he won't do it again.
I had a friend who actually told a guy that, oh, you are the man. Anytime I misbehave, don't hesitate to correct me.
And the correction was
serious beating. Sometimes she faints. Yes, and I'll go and fight the guy. Why did you do that? The next minute, the guy will call me with my friend's phone. When I pick, I'll say, hey, so when will Jimmy or that?
Wow. How would you feel as a man after hurting this person you say you love? You see blood oozing from their nose, sees marks all over them, and knowing that you're the reason she looks or feels this way, just because she says she likes it?
You see, I said something from the beginning. You must know yourself. Understand who you are before you get into the relationship. If this dude is asking you to, if I'm a guy and a lady I'm dating says I should be beating her, that's not my nature. I would wonder why.
It's turning into something.
So obviously, once it's not my nature, you won't get it from me. You perhaps might want to teach me. Okay, let's watch this. This is how it's done. I would ask myself rationally, does it make sense? Can't we do it another way around? Okay, what if I slap you and you collapse and you die? So people get into some of these things based on how they relate. Maybe that's how they are. They are, exactly. You might have seen it somewhere. Let's give it a try. But from what even the moral fiber doesn't teach us that.
No. I think it's important to also draw a difference between what happens in the bedroom
exactly.
and what you do in your relationship as a matter of course. Okay, so if perhaps you like,
that's what you would prefer in the bedroom.
That's different. And of course, there's a limit. There's a limit. Even those who are into bondage and that sort of thing, they have safe words. If you are being too, if what you are doing is too violent, there's a safe word that they'll say, so you can stop. So what happens in a bedroom is different from what you should be doing to each other as a matter of course. In your relationship, you have children. Your wife says something and then you verbally abuse her or call her a name or slap her in front of your children. That one,
that's the thing.
It doesn't matter. As for that, I think we ought to draw a very clear line. If you are enduring that, that is not love.
But I thought they said love is unconditional. So maybe those are some of the conditions.
In order for love to be unconditional, it has to be something that the both of you are gaining from. Okay, if the condition is that you must lose for me to gain, that's not love.
But one person has to play the fool, they say. In love, we've heard that. Berlin, I'm sure you've heard people say that.
I keep hearing that.
Exactly.
That is
so
not
who becomes
love.
a fool?
That is not love.
What a fool means?
She said the woman has to be the woman.
No, not a fool, but you just have to. Two captains cannot ride a ship. You understand?
But that doesn't mean the other one is a fool.
No, that doesn't mean you're a fool. You're just. Women are naturally supposed to be the calm ones in the marriage or relationship or whatever. Somebody will say classy. You can't tell me a woman who abused her husband or boyfriend is a classy woman. She's not. She can even embarrass you in public. Do you understand? That doesn't make her a fool. You being quiet, the guy will not even do what you do for you to abuse him to you.
Now, what about when the reason for which you started the relationship seems not to be there again? The reason you found yourself, you like the person, you're all bubbly together.
That is comfortability. When all of you get too comfortable, then you just...
Because people say, the reason I'm asking is that people say they have goals. You know how they say relationship goals. And then all of a sudden, there's no goal anywhere again. Things look like normal. You see the person, but you're not even excited.
Pretend, a lot of people pretend these days, or I don't know, when they want to go into something, they will pretend. So when they get into it and they are comfortable, then everything else that they were doing.
So who pretends most? Before we even continue, I think I hear the women pretend most because the women, unfortunately for us, we are in a society where the woman doesn't go marry. it's the man that comes to marry. So you have to pretend to, you know, get his attention, and then when you have finally gotten him.
No,
but
sometimes you ask
okay.
yourself, the goals, are they sustainable? If they are not,
by that time, are you thinking about sustainability?
oh come on.
When social media is there,
Hey,
Instagram.
No,
Vacation.
Individually, the way you treat your, or the way you want your relationship to be, it's like you're writing a book. What you write, that is what people
This
are
is
going
pure
to read.
power.
No, that is me. For instance, if you ask me about my relationship, it's personal. It's something I don't want to discuss with anybody.
Because you are afraid.
What I want you
She's
to
happy,
know,
she's been ready
it's not. No. Oh, Belinda, please. So, no, what I want you to know, that is what I will tell you, and I don't want people to, you know, tell me what to do. Do you get it? For instance, if I get a new boyfriend or I marry, then I come to the world. Oh, this is my man. So if I'm divorcing the person, I might come to tell them.
But when you're starting, do you have divorce at the back of your mind?
We should put all these things into consideration.
But that's the reality of the world we now live in. More than 50% of marriages end in divorce. So unfortunately, it's on your mind.
When you're going to...
If you don't
Really?
if you don't think about it...
Because if you're not going for divorce, why would you go and sign?
If you say it never
Why you
crosses
signing?
your mind, then you're
What is in your mind? Do you understand?
Okay? Of course, it doesn't cross your mind as in you are planning for it. Perhaps it crosses your mind as in, I'm hoping it never happens to us. But it still crosses your mind. But I want to be a little controversial if I can.
Please, let's see.
You asked who pretends more. I'm sure women, you think men lie more, right?
Yes.
In order to, not in order to get a girl, but just generally, we lie more. Okay. Women always say, I just want a man who is honest. You know? I just
But
want
we
a
hate
man
the
who
truth too.
will level with me, who will tell me the truth.
And we hate it.
You want me to be honest with you, but you are wearing Brazilian hair.
Thank you.
You are wearing,
But that's it
you are
got
wearing
nothing
3
to do
tons of makeup.
But what, please answer
You are
him.
wearing
Kojo,
heels. You are not that tall.
Answer him.
No, it got
That is
nothing
not
to
how
do with
flat your stomach is. You want me to believe that that is you.
it got nothing
But-
to do. Then why do you shave your hair?
And by this, are we
Why
talking
do you
about?
shave your hair?
Are we talking about having
That's
to
your
meet her
hair.
for the first
And so
time?
leave it away.
Please ask him.
You want to present yourself.
Kojo,
Then why
he's
don't
asking
leave
you as your
it?
fellow man.
I'm asking, by this, are you talking about having to meet her for the first time, or being in a
Please.
relationship with her?
Some women can maintain
Oh, wow.
their representative
Yes.
for months before one day they will. Look, you wake up in the morning, you turn around, and the lipstick is already on. Okay, so look, let's be real here. This is my hair. It never looks different. I cut it like this once a week.
And why she's
Because
asking why
this
you
is how I
cut it.
want it to look.
So that's
Yes.
how I also want to
But
look.
no, you want me to believe that that is your hair.
Oh no, it's not
You
about
want me
Obviously,
to
you
believe
know
that
it's
that's
not
how
my
long
hair.
your nails
No,
are.
But wait, no.
You want me to
Those
believe
are-
that this is
those
how
are
tall you
extreme.
are.
No, but
But
Kojo, you
people
know.
are
That's how
not
round
asking,
you are.
you're not asking Kojo the right questions. The right thing is that, don't you want hair beautiful?
I want her beautiful, and I understand that it takes.
But she's told you
I
that-
understand that it takes a lot of padding to look beautiful. But then don't turn around and come and tell me that you want me to be honest with you
But
when you are.
why are you?
Well,
But no, but
this
why are
is
you
how black my
associating?
stomach is.
No, but
It's so different.
But
No,
okay, Kojo, you're not being fair. You're not being fair because
I knew this would be
you're putting.
controversial.
No, but Fifi, you haven't said anything about
So your
what he's saying
girlfriend
because this
doesn't wear
is
makeup?
character versus looks.
Yeah. I mean,
Kojo, so your girlfriend doesn't wear
why
makeup.
I mean, he said he wanted to just be controversial. I knew he
okay.
was kidding. But
Okay.
by and large, like I said, you know, I don't think that you should just wake up one day, meet a girl, and that's about it. My mother told me one thing: date as many women as possible, and of course, not to say go into anything with them. Dating as they would go and say, let's get to know each other, and then you are convinced. If it's the same person, go on multiple dates. Just be sure. Ask the right questions. People go on to relationship dates and they don't ask anything.
But
They
you
go
see,
and-
this
you
one
know?
is also a serious one. Date as many women as possible.
Yeah.
And today you're dating Belinda. Belinda, in her mind, she's got Fifi, who they are
Oh,
no,
building
prayer
something
topic.
together. Then tomorrow Fifi says, "Oh, my mother says date as many women as possible."
hold on. When I talk about dating, I'm talking about finding the woman you want to marry. So that's the end result. So it's not as though I'm going to say
I don't think when
I'm
he
in
comes,
love
he'll come
with
and
you.
tell you.
No,
oh, I
yeah,
love you.
exactly.
No,
Okay.
you just try to
You're
get
just
to know
you're
you.
striking
Yeah, exactly.
acquaintance.
So yeah,
It's
get to
different
know
from
friendship.
yeah, relationship. I'm not going to be in a relationship,
Yeah.
but just so you know, because sometimes people present like could you say present a certain appearance. Maybe that's what you like, but beyond the looks and everything, there's some character you want to be sure. You know, sometimes someone said if you want to be a president right now, be sure of the lady you're dating or the one you're married to, because she's going to be the first lady. You want to be sure you are taking her through to the very end. You understand? There are a few things you need to look out for. Of course, quite a number, but you know, just so you are sure. And this can only happen, especially if you're not married, is to find out. Those days, our parents, you know why they stay long in the relationship? Parents actually want to do investigations. They look through and be sure, okay, this family, okay, this guy, you know. But now, it doesn't seem to happen.
But it seems those days, and I said that when the ladies spoke earlier, those days, they were very tolerant. We didn't have social media. We didn't have people looking into people's businesses and using people's lives as the model or the
you know,
yardstick
let
for
me help you with that. This is what I noticed, right? For those of our parents who actually got married many years, you notice that, for instance, your parents will go and look for some lady you probably don't even know, you've not met before, and they come and present. The father says, you know, hey, I'm going to marry for you. This is the kind of woman I think you deserve. Now, having, you know, to meet a woman for the first time and get into, you know, even when they marry a woman for you, it would take a while. Your love will have to grow. There's some things that has to be done. Look, the whole of that process, you know, you're serving the man, you're cooking for him, he virtually does nothing. You go to the farm, you carry everything. You know that, you know? So by the time you have been in that relationship, let's give it like 5 years in marriage, you notice that the love for this person has grown. It's a gradual process. You understand? And so look,
Could just sound like that's what happened to me.
you give him a chance to speak. After having gone through this for a period and you're married, look, the love grows. It's not instant. You know, this woman respects you.
But do you think that can happen today?
Okay.
Because if we are spoiled for choice,
that's why I was saying that. That model, it did a lot of good.
Did it?
Of course. Because
have you heard
if
a
you
lot
have
of
stayed in
parents
this for-
also say, I stayed because
Of the
I
children.
stayed because of my children.
So
I stayed because
I
my father
think-
said.
It's not
I
cast in
think-
stone.
I
I won't say for all, but what I mean is majority. Because if you've been in this for a long while, you know, you can't imagine just waking up one day and thinking, okay, because trust me, these people, if you look at what happened in the past, some of the men that our mothers married and all, they really didn't like them anyway. You know, it's like family
some
was,
too were
but the love grew.
So this is the
We
point
don't
I'm
allow
trying
love
to
to
make.
grow
that
now.
I think the modern
Says we
the
don't allow
modern-
love to grow now.
We don't.
Well, the modern relationship or the modern society doesn't make it so easy for that process to go from beginning to end.
I agree.
There are too many things that kill it. Social media has made the world more honest,
social
and I'm
media.
putting honest in
Quotes,
here. So now we see what is happening in everybody's lives. So you can't do things in secret.
Not everything.
We see what they want us to see.
You can't do things in secret because people are interested
In your business.
in what you are doing. And so if you will do things in secret, you must lie. So perhaps you must tell your friends, I don't have a boyfriend. Meanwhile, you do. So that
No, I
they will
tell
never get to know what is happening in your relationship. Today, because of social media, if you meet someone, your parents go and find someone they think is good and you are supposed to now grow your love with the person. While you are with that person, you are seeing the person's Facebook feed.
I know.
Okay, so they might be telling you A, but you can see they are doing B. In the past, they tell you A, you have to take it.
I know.
So your love will grow. And then at the end of it, maybe when you are 20 years into the relationship, or no, 20 years is too long. 2 years into the relationship, you start to see that, oh, okay, actually what I learned about him while we were courting is not really the truth. So look, people haven't changed. People are still the same. But now the way the world has moved forward, we see people, the real person within, quicker than we used to. So it makes it more difficult for us to do some of the things our parents were able to do.
Okay.
The true person comes out quicker. You know.
Because I think that is a choice we make. And we must do it with love. from our hearts. I mean, I can't imagine anybody wanting to date a woman or wanting to marry a woman and the focus is, I'll leave you on the way. I don't think that people have that mindset. You go in because you want that person as your life partner. Look at all that goes into it to even marry someone. And then you marry, and then eventually things happen and you just, I think that we must do due diligence. I mean, I'm a Christian. I think that the church has to wake up. There are a lot of things that we need to teach the people. People have to find out. I don't think anybody has to be rushed into marriage. Sometimes I know I've had people who say, hey, courtship, hey, they say 6 months. Why? People have a whole lot of, but you see, there are certain principles we must adhere to. There are certain things, it's a choice, all right? I met a lady, she's beautiful, well, she's got all that I want in a woman, she likes me, I like her, we move her 1, 2, 3 times, I think, whoa, it's working, okay, you know what, can we get married? I don't think that you've done enough justice, like you just said, to find out more. And trust me, you talked about social media. Yeah, social media will put out certain things. Most often I know the nice ones and all of that. But you must have a choice. Find out. I don't think that I want my kids to grow up without their mother along the way because I made a mistake by not taking my time. You get it? Marriage should not be rushed.
But sometimes, I've heard Dr. Mensah Otabil, after 20 years of marriage, also say he's been married for 20 years, but he still thinks that he's now getting to know his wife. So you might never get to even know your partner.
I agree.
So when is enough time to even understudy or know this person?
I can't speak for him, but I think that those are to the extreme. People actually change. And they change along the way, okay? It has nothing to do with values, most often than not. Because if he had been with a woman for 20-something years, of course, he's enjoyed some good things. I think that the bigger picture is, before you enter, of course, we can't know everything. I mean, up to now, there are certain things my wife will share. They're like, oh, really? Okay, oh, this is new. Okay, and maybe along the line, we change our thinking. It's like supporting a political party. Along the line, you can decide that, okay, well, I don't support like these guys.
But it's not as easy as supporting a political party. I think that is the most difficult thing you can change.
Yeah. If it is going to affect your relationship, that's what the problem is.
I have a question.
Ask your question.
So this makes it clear that, look, very often by the time you even end up marrying someone, there's a lot that you still don't know about them, which leads to this idea of people having to endure. Because once you've made a certain decision, made a certain commitment, then from that point onwards you feel like, look, I don't have a choice, I must stick to what I
must make this work.
Yes, I must stick to what I agreed. So even if the person turns out not to be what you signed up for, you are still enduring. My question is, who generally endures more, men or women?
Women.
Both of us.
This one you're not answering. So this says both. She says women, women. Yeah. Kojo.
Men.
Women. I'm sure. Okay.
Said women.
So she said women, both.
Yeah.
He says men. I don't have a choice. I can't choose. It looks like they are leading.
It's women.
Should I tell you?
Well, the women are speaking for themselves.
Yes. But you have been genuine enough to. I think you should be telling us why you think both.
Well, we're all not perfect. That's one thing. I mean, Kojo said something earlier. When we go into marriage, trust me, it's the man who proposes, the woman who says yes. If the woman says no, you can't marry the woman. So the whole picture of is a man who marries, no. The man proposes, the woman says yes. So in actual fact, it's the woman who actually marries. Because if the woman says no, how do you now get to marry her? You understand? Okay, great. Now, we are not perfect because along the line, we have our different opinions about things. There are certain fundamentals we must be sure we want in every relationship. I'm not asking you to look for some real crazy ambitious. No. Is she loving? Does she listen? Is she sweet? Is she cool for me? There are a few things you need to know. Of course, you can't. So, like I'm saying, along the line, we can veer off a little. I get angry. My wife can get angry at me. It's like that. Sometimes, hey, she's, we endure. But we know the bigger picture is that we decided that we're going to marry. And we married because we're in love and we think that we are compatible. You understand? So the fact that you are in love doesn't mean you won't fight. Or doesn't mean that, things will not go haywire.
Because you brought the divorce issue initially, when can one say, look, I cannot?
What I said actually was not necessarily to divorce. I said that if you are in a relationship that's abusive, you don't have to stay there and be killed, right? There are chances that something is wrong. It could be mental. It could be even demonic. You understand? Get help. And in your getting help, you could be separated. Get help.
But when you return,
oh, so that's why you're getting
And
help.
finally, the person kills you.
No, he will not. That's why. See.
Wait. So get help.
Kojo, yeah.
So they could be separated.
Yeah.
So, it sounds to me as if you're saying there is no good reason for divorce.
Oh, this is it. If you think that, I'm speaking as a Christian, Bible emphatically puts some things down, reason for which you could divorce. All right. And that's why I want us to always come back to why we entered the relationship. Before you entered the marriage, didn't you think the guy was abusive?
Adultery
That shall not
is the only reason the Bible gives that is suitable for divorce, and that is nowhere near as critical as abuse.
Abuse, yeah.
Adultery is the standard.
And if you check what the Bible actually says, I think it was Paul who was actually speaking from experience. It wasn't like a Jesus rule or law.
Abuse is added.
You understand?
Wait.
Yeah.
So you are now differentiating between what Paul said and what Jesus said.
Now Paul actually said that. I don't want to get into all the whole scriptural thing.
So why
on
are
that.
Paul's letters
Because
in the Bible?
Because things that Paul said were under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. Even though he used himself as an example. I mean, he said that, look, if you can stay single like me, do stay. Because he was addressing a situation around that time. And when we read the Bible, we don't have to just pick one verse. We must do the pretext, get into the content, everything else.
So adultery is not a good reason.
If that is the reason, if that is the reason, and it is good enough for you to divorce, why not? That's what you're standing. But my point is, sometimes in a relationship, because there are a few issues, you say you want to divorce. Why do you want to do? Before you got into the marriage, there were things you're supposed to have figured out.
all right, so this conversation I'm sure will continue in your homes from the biblical perspective and from the reality. I'm sure that people will say, okay, look at how Kojo is questioning Fifi because he said he's Christian. I'm sure, but whatever it is, remember that there's something you would have to give. You would have to endure to enjoy. And whilst you're enjoying, you would have to remember that you need to be tolerant. Thanks for watching this episode of the G Sport on Joy Prime. We are back again next week with more. Thanks to Belinda, Fifi, Abna, and Kojo Yangson. Have a good evening.